really plenty of expressive arms and torso bending. I think he moves his feet twice during the whole performance. He takes a step back
It's
just twice.
a lot of body
Um,
movement for how grounded those feet are. You're right.
yeah, yeah. Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Audiophiles. My name's John. His name is Andy. But that's the way that I can win, a victim of your evil sin. You've lost the hold you've had on me by causing the changes that you'll never see. More on that later. But first, Andy, what have you got in store for us today?
I have an artist named Desi Valentine. Have you ever heard that name before?
I feel like I should have done. I feel like Desi Valentine must have done the talk show rounds in the 80s. Um, it's proper sort of old school name.
Yeah.
And there's a bit, isn't there, in oh god, what's the name of the film? Broadway Danny Rose. You got the old guy sitting around the restaurant at the beginning talking about all the acts and stuff. And Desi Valentine would have been one of those acts,
Yeah,
the
it is
one
the
armed
perfect
xylophone
cliche
player.
name. Yeah, yeah. Definitely sounds like Desi's been on like the lounge tour, like doing
Yeah.
shows in Vegas and the Catskills and all these different places. But yes, Desi Valentine, and his track "My Worst Enemy" is what I would like you to check out. This is an OurVinyl session, sort of live, controlled environment performance, for you to scope out. So. I'd love for you to do just that and let us all know what you made of it.
Will do.
I'm Desi Valentine. This is My Worst Enemy. I've come to face that you don't want me. Want to pretend that I don't want to do. You cut me out before you know me. And all of that mad potential I possess. Safe to assume that you don't.
Okay. Very nice start. So yeah, I think when he was speaking, it sounds British, hopefully. And then we kick off in the sort of rim shots from the drummer, and there's hum. It sounds like a manipulated human voice almost. Um, so whether it's coming from the guys behind, I don't know if that keyboard is singing there or not, or if it's coming from the keyboard itself, but it sounds synthetic. And it kind of reminds me, the whole shape of it, to that sort of retro R&B stuff that came out years ago. Um, Amy Winehouse, but more like early Duffy. Um, yeah, sounds really nice. His voice is really good, and it sounds like a nasally. I say nasally because I'm all bugged up with cold, but he sounds like a nasally version of almost CeeLo Green or something like that. It's got his great voice and it's individual. So yeah, promising stuff.
Done dropped me, the phone just stopped, and so I had no choice. One more time, I'm left lonely, and all them dark thoughts, I just gave them a voice. And so now all I crave is your attention. This must be the cause of my aggression. On fire for you to see me.
So we're just going to go back for a second there. So really nice sound there, and that piano coming in just instantly made me think of Billy Preston. I don't know why, but it did. Really bouncy. It's lovely, and it has that kind of 60s feel to it with that sort of bounce. Um, I really like this guy. He's got character and charm. He's got a bit of a sass. He's a bit of a drama queen as well, which kind of helps when you're doing this sort of narrative. And he's singing "You Took Away My Dignity," and he even does that lovely sort of, legs together, feet can't move, sort of torso wiggle, which is classic R&B stuff. Yeah, I really enjoyed this.
Is your attention? This must be the cause of my aggression. You took away my dignity. You took away my dignity. I set myself on fire for you to see me. You took away my dignity. Oh, 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 my ego is my worst enemy. Oh, 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 my ego is my worst enemy. So it's gonna.
All right, just a nice little twist there, saying my ego is my worst enemy. You think from the start that the titular character, my worst enemy, would be the person that he's addressing, took away his dignity and stuff like that. But he's kind of reflecting in a way that either his ego is creating these situations, or it's how he reacts to these situations, or both. That shows a sort of weakness which he doesn't like, which is a nice little sort of twist the finger back onto yourself.
Be a rough road to happy. At first glance, I thought I'd met my match. Less you care, the more you attract me. And why it ain't fair, I just get nothing back. I don't see the world in my reflection. This must be the cause of my aggression. Fire for you to see me. You took away my dignity. Oh, 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 my ego is my worst enemy. Oh, 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 my ego is my worst enemy. I'm on my knees, knees. You gotta let me out. Let me begging you, please, please. You gotta let me out. You took away my dignity. You took away my dignity. I set myself on fire for you to see me. You took away my dignity. Ooh. You took away my dignity. Oh no, oh, please. Oh, 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 my ego is my worst enemy. Oh, 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 my ego is my worst enemy.
And that's it. Again, that was a live performance within the studio. Flawless. I really like the subtlety of the drummer, actually, the way he's just like doing double taps and then just a little bit of on the sort of cymbal, hi-hats. Everything about that was brilliant. Yeah, it was a bit of a drama queen, and it just some benefited from it. Real sort of character, charm, and attitude. Yeah. Great sound as well, that sort of retrospective sound that's been slightly updated. Yeah, this is a big hit for me. Got to find out more about it. He sounded at the start like he's British. I hope he is. But let's find out some more. Let's go back and chop it with Andy.
All right, so you are back. Please tell us what you thought of Desi Valentine and his track "My Worst Enemy."
So, as he says some brief words at the start, and from those opening words, my belief is that your boy is British. He sounds like a geezer. So then the song begins. It has this nice sort of bouncy tempo with the sticks clacking away with these rim shots, and then there's an interesting melodic hum, which I presume is something synthetic coming from the keyboards. It sounds like an augmented sort of human voice, actually. Your man Desi starts singing, and he has an interesting delivery. He's kind of like a nasally CeeLo Green.
Mm.
Really, yeah, really nice. The whole effect with the music, it puts me in mind of the sort of retro, sound, sort of Amy Winehouse, but probably even more with this really early Duffy. There's a song Mercy she does. It kind of have that same sort of kick to it. Very nice. So we reached the end of the first verse. It says something about all the dark thoughts I just gave my voice, and then in come the rest of the band, backing vocals, harmonizing, guitar and keyboards. There's a couple more lines about craving attention or something, and then we're really moving. The keyboard really pops. I put Billy Preston style. I just immediately made me think of Billy Preston. I don't know why, just because probably watched Get Back documentary a few weeks back again, about the eighth time. But it's that joy to the sound of it as well, which you get when he joins the four lads in the studio. And we get this finger pointing. You took away my dignity, but I set myself on fire for you to see me. Lovely stuff. Yeah, this does have huge buckets of retro charm, down to the sort of legs glued together wiggle on the spot. Um, I really enjoyed that. The music drops again, and the title is explained. Whoa, 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 whoa! My ego is my worst enemy. So it's really nice. It's a great touch to see the accusing finger sort of turn back onto the narrator. You'd assume from the first verse that the subject you would be worthy of the title of worst enemy. However, it is his ego. And it's quite funny in a way, because whether it's about how he instigates his situations or the way he reacts to them, or both, but in the way he's describing it, there's still plenty of ego in there. He's not being contrite. We go back down the same pattern musically for the next verse with potentially some insight. It says something about, I thought I met my match. The less you care, the more you attract me. Classic stuff. And then, as with all great R&B / soul songs, there's always a portion of the song spent on your knees, closely associated with the process of begging and the word please, because it rhymes. And it didn't disappoint there either. The performance, for want of a better word, sass, increases throughout this bit with the pre-chorus and chorus. Really plenty of expressive arms and torso bending. I think he moves his feet twice during the whole performance. He takes a step back, just twice.
It's a lot of body movement for how grounded those feet are. You're right.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lovely sort of little falsetto whoa, whoa that he does with a bit about his egos. And that keyboard keeps popping like a 1960s fringe skirt. It's really nice. It drops down to the final chorus. Yeah, you get the feeling there isn't any contrition on display whatsoever. And you question how much of the self-awareness is really self-aware, but it's like, yeah, I'm not sure whether he really feels it's a problem.
Yeah.
But overall, I love this. Charm, character, and attitude in full display. He came across as a bit of a drama queen, which is, I think, what you need for this song.
Precisely.
Which again, see that green. But yeah, fantastic live sound as well. So yeah, this guy's a talent. I'd love to know more about him.
Yeah, I totally agree. Would appear he's a man of many hats, which we'll get into. Which will also probably explain the scant, semi-erratic nature of his releases from a purely musical standpoint. So it's interesting. I discovered him several years ago, but he definitely has it. It seems to have his finger in a lot of different pots. Yes, Desi Valentine. He's up. First of all, so stoked that you like this, and the performance is fucking amazing. I knew you'd, even if you didn't like the song, you'd be hard pressed to not enjoy the production of it all. But I'm super stoked that you like both of them. It's a hell of a lot of fun to watch this. So, Desi Valentine is as you are correct to point out, a London-born but LA-based singer-songwriter known for his retro soul and R&B sound. charismatic bluesy baritone voice, as well as a successful career in both musical theater and as a recording artist. He's known for blending authentic soul with modern pop appeal and has been compared to Meyer Hawthorne, Fitz and the Tantrums, and Amy Winehouse, aiming for timelessness with influences like Nina Simone. From an education point of view, Desi trained in singing at the Italia Conti School of Performing Arts and the Lane Theater Arts, where he graduated in a national diploma in the performing arts. Desi's career as a professional singer was very successful in the London musical scene. He was a soloist singer in the original West End cast of Mel Brooks' The Producers, starring Nathan Lane and Lee Evans, and the leading man as Tyrone Jackson in Fame, the musical at the legendary, correct me if I'm wrong here, Shaftesbury Theater. Nailed it. His multifaceted talent also brought him to work as a backing vocalist for such artists as Gloria Estefan, Leona Lewis, Alexandra Burke, and Sir Elton John himself. He was also fortunate enough to be asked to sing the charity single for the Helen Bamber Charity Foundation album, which was also released across the UK and promoted by spokeswoman and actress Emma Thompson. In 2009, Desi recorded his debut album Back to Me under the production of Kevin Porre at one of the most well-known studios in London, Berry Street Studios. He promoted his album by performing in the London music scene in such venues as Jazz Cafe and Proud Galleries in Camden Town, the Garage in Islington, and intimate prestigious jazz gigs at the world-famous Ronnie Scott's, and even at noted venues like Mahiki in London's Mayfair. After the release of this album, Valentine moved to Los Angeles in an effort to further find his creative footing. In 2012, he continued to change his musical direction by delving deeper into this retro soul sound that's more rooted in classic R&B and released his self-titled album. He released a handful of singles in 2016, his most popular being Fate Don't Know You. It debuted on the Spotify Viral 50 chart in the UK, Canada, Australia, Sweden, and the Netherlands. On Shazam, the song debuted in the top 20 on the Future Hits chart in the US, UK, Australia, and in the top 100 in the global chart, and on iTunes, the track debuted in the top 100 in the UK. 2 years later, he released another handful of singles, including this track, My Worst Enemy, which he performed for an iteration of, as we just saw, Our Vinyl Sessions. He would go on to release 2 more full-length albums, 2019's Shades of Love and 2021's Through the Lens. Reviewing this track, the staff of The Urban Influencer would offer up, the track was written about unrequited desire and what it's like to feel like you don't have control over yourself. The track was inspired by the time in Desi's career where his song Fate Don't Know You was on the top of the digital charts, and yet he was struggling to make rent, and the dichotomy of being at rock bottom while experiencing major success. The song hugs to the darker spectrum of what Desi does songwriting-wise, but retains his signature catchy soulfulness. Okay, now let's dig into these lyrics. I've come to face that you don't want me, want to pretend that I don't want you too. You cut me out before you know me, and all of that mad potential I possess. Safe to assume that you done dropped me. The phone just stopped, and so I had no choice. One more time that I'm left lonely, and all them dark thoughts, I just gave them a voice. Certain all I crave is your attention, and this must be the cause of my aggression. You took away my dignity. You took away my dignity. I set myself on fire for you to see me. You took away my dignity. Whoa, 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 My ego is my worst enemy. Whoa, whoa, my ego is my worst enemy. So it's gone, be a rough road to happy. At first glance, I thought I'd met my match. Less you care, the more you attract me. And while it ain't fair, I just kept nothing back. I don't see the world in my reflection, and this must be the cause of my aggression. You took away my dignity. You took away my dignity. I set myself on fire for you to see me. You took away my dignity. Whoa, whoa, my ego is my worst enemy. Whoa, whoa, my ego is my worst enemy. And as you mentioned, I'm on my knees. You've got to let me out. Let me, begging you, please, please. You've got to let me out. You took away my dignity. You took away my dignity. I set myself on fire for you to see me. You took away my dignity. Whoa. You took away my dignity. Oh, please. Whoa, whoa. My ego is my worst enemy. Whoa, whoa. My ego is my worst enemy. There you have it, John. Not a lot out there on the man himself. He's clearly dipping into a lot of things. I know he's got a pretty large social media presence too, where it's pretty clear he's all over and doing different things in different ways. When I guess you're multi-talented, you can do. So yeah, this other track, Fate, Don't Know You, is another really good one among a handful of others that I really like. So I might bring some more of his stuff to the channel.
please
It's a nice
do.
little break. I mean, we do a lot of indie rock and things adjacent to that and alt rock. So it's good every once in a while to pepper in, as we do, both of us from time to time, some stuff outside of those boundaries. So this was as good as excuse as any to do that with Desi. So I'm really glad you enjoyed it, man.
Yeah, I really did.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, guys out there in the listening audience, please let us know what you thought of My Worst Enemy by Desi Valentine. If you are familiar with his works and there's a particular track by his you want us to hear, please feel free to shout it out in the comments field below, and we will add it to our ever-growing list for Friday listener episodes or listener suggested episodes. And please also like, share, and or subscribe if you haven't done any or all of those things. It only takes a couple moments, and it really means a lot to us. It doesn't cost a thing. So thank you in advance for anybody who entertains that request. And hopefully John and I will catch all y'all in growing numbers on the next installment of the Audiophiles. We'll see you later, guys.